Hi guys, Victoria Paxton here. Thanks for stopping back by my YouTube channel. Okay, so today I am going to do the case of Karlie Guse. Sit back guys, this might be a little long. There's a lot of details and, it's another sad one. So Karlie went missing in the early morning hours of October 13th, 2018 in Bishop, California. So Karlie's boyfriend Donald said that they had went to a friend's house and smoked weed. Okay. So apparently Karlie calls her stepmom and says, I need you to come pick me up. So she was supposed to, her stepmom is Melissa Guse. Melissa was going to pick her up at this trailer park where they were. And I don't know if that was where the party was or that was where her boyfriend lived. I'm not sure. Yeah, so feel free to correct me in the comment section because I'm not sure on that. Okay, so she asked her stepmom to hurry up, pick her up. So her stepmom gets to where she's supposed to pick her up and she's not there. So the stepmom starts driving around and then she finally sees Karlie and Karlie jumps in the back driver's side seat, right? Which was kind of odd. Okay, so her stepmom said she was acting paranoid and she was pale and her eyes were dilated. So she gets her home and, her thinking is something happened when she got high. Like she just needs to sleep this off and she'll be fine. So Melissa, the stepmom, makes her a salad and thinking food will help her, get through this. So she gives her salad. Well, Karlie takes a bite of it and she spits it out and says, this is the devil's lettuce. Okay, so after the lettuce incident, the stepmom decided to take her phone out and videotape Karlie. She said that she wanted to videotape her so that the next day she would see how crazy she was acting because she got high. So the stepmom changed her story quite a few times, okay? In her first story, she said that she went, I guess, to sleep with Karlie in her bed. She woke up at like 5:45 in the morning. Karlie was there asleep. So she fell back to sleep, woke back up at 7:15 to 7:30 a.m. and Karlie was gone. Okay, that's story number one. Okay, story number two, which the stepmom Melissa Guse now says is the actual real story of what happened, is Karlie went to sleep in her bed. She went to sleep in her bed. She woke up at 5:45 a.m. and walked around waking the kids up. Who wakes their kids up at 5:45 a.m. on the weekend? So anyway, then she goes and lays back down and falls back to sleep. She wakes up between 7:15 and 7:30, and at that point, Karlie's gone. Okay, Melissa Guse changed what Karlie was wearing a couple times. At first, she said Karlie was in skinny jeans. Then she said the last time she saw Karlie, she was in a white t-shirt and underwear because she was going to bed. Okay, so a witness came forward and said that around daybreak, they saw her walking down Highway 6. She was wearing gray sweatpants, a white t-shirt, and Vans shoes. And I think at that point, Melissa Guse, the stepmom, changed it and said, oh yeah, she was wearing sweatpants. So who knows? She can't keep her story straight. Okay, so I was able to connect with Karlie. She came through. I'm assuming it was, she was the same age as when she disappeared. She was young and she was so pretty. I mean, she really was a pretty little girl. And we connected, chit-chatted, talked. I told her, I wanted to ask her a few questions. So I asked her, I said, how was your relationship with your stepmom and your dad? And she said that there had been issues with her and her stepmom for quite a while. It had been an ongoing thing. And she said, I was a kid. Kids don't get along with their parents. She kind of related it to that at first. She went on to say that she had been really, lately prior to her disappearance, she had been having a lot of problems with her dad, which she hadn't really had problems with her dad before. And she said, it was hard because her biological mom wasn't really in the picture. And she also said that her biological mom wasn't in the picture when she was alive, but once she was dead, all of a sudden her biological mom, was front and center of everything, trying to talk about how much she loved her child and this and that. So The way she said it, it was kind of like, oh, brother, So, yeah. Okay, so I asked her, to walk me through what happened at the end. So she said that she had a couple of spots that were kind of patchy that she couldn't really remember. She thought she knew what happened in that time, but she wasn't for sure. Okay, so she explained that her and her boyfriend and some friends had smoked weed. And she said she knew pretty quickly that she didn't feel right, that there was something that wasn't right. I asked her if she had smoked weed before. She said, yeah, a couple times I'd smoked weed, yeah. So she said things were spotty, but she remembers they smoked weed. She didn't feel right. And then all of a sudden she remembers running down the road. She remembers getting into a car. She said she was pretty sure it was her stepmom. She remembers going back to her house. She remembers her stepmom trying to get her to eat. And she remembers there was some kind of issue with it. She remembers going to her room. She just wanted to sleep at that point because she felt horrible. So she said she didn't know the time frame, but she said she felt like she had just laid down to try to go to sleep. And then all of a sudden she heard her stepmom and dad screaming at each other and fighting and arguing. It was really loud. So she said her dad and stepmom, their yelling and fighting was getting louder and louder. And all of a sudden they ended up like in the hallway outside of her bedroom door. And so she said, I don't know why, but I jumped up and ran over there. She said because in her mind, she wanted to just go to sleep. She wanted to block it out. She said her dad wasn't making a lot of sense. And she said she had witnessed him in being that way before. And she said, it wasn't an everyday thing, but she had witnessed him being that way before. And it was always when he was drinking. So she said her memory at this point was kind of splotchy. But she seems to remember that her dad was blaming her stepmom for something. And that was why he was yelling and why she was yelling back. So she had run to the doorway. And she said she was just inches away from her stepmom and dad. And her stepmom pushed her. And she said, I don't remember if I said something that pissed her off or upset her. And I said, was there a fight about you? And she said, I don't know. I don't remember. But her stepmom pushed her, and she said she remembers going backwards and hitting her head quickly. And she said there was the most intense pain in her head that she'd ever had. She said it was horrible. And she said she had had a couple of headaches in her lifetime, and this was nothing like that it was really bad. At this point, she thinks it started to click with her that she was dead. And she said she could see her dad and stepmom, her body, and she saw her dad and stepmom literally over top of her, crying. And she said it was so confusing. She said, I was so confused. I didn't understand because I didn't know that I was gone. And so here I am seeing myself, on the ground and them hugging me and crying. And she said, and I'm yelling, I'm right here, I'm right here. She didn't realize she was gone. And, I've heard that from quite a few spirits. I guess it takes a while to process, to realize, I guess. Okay, so I asked her if she could help me figure out where her body is. She said she's buried, and for a split second I could see things. I was able to see how you can be driving along, it could be summertime, and everybody's lawn is dead, the grass is brown and dead, and then all of a sudden you come up and you look out your window and you see this really green grass, and you're like, what the heck? And then you realize, oh, it's a golf course. So wherever she is, it's really green grass, Yeah, and I do see mountains. She said something about the mountains. Yeah, I see really green grass. So, yeah, I don't know. I asked her if she had anything else to say, and she said no. And then she said, wait, yeah, I have something to say. And she said, I think I deserve justice. Yeah, that made me tear up, because I have never, in all the times of doing this, I've never had a spirit say that to me. And she's right. She does deserve justice. I don't know, though. I mean, I do feel like eventually she'll be found, but, you know, I'm not seeing, like, anybody, I don't see anybody being caught, you know, so hopefully I'm wrong, but yeah. Okay, guys, stay safe, be kind, be nice, be cool to people. You know, tempers are running hot right now. You know, people are passionate, and, you know, we just need to accept people for who they are and know that, you know, they're not perfect, just like we're not perfect. So anyway, I hope everybody's safe and happy and healthy, and that about does it for me. Bye.